Good morning. Ask the Doctor time. You know, measles may seem like a disease of the past, but just this year alone, at least 113 cases have been diagnosed in the U.S. 83% of those people diagnosed with measles were unvaccinated. Dr. Soong, one of our regular doctors who joins us on our Ask the Doctor segment, here again this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you. First, talk about measles. I think that because it has not been around and been a problem for people for so many years, we don't really even talk about what measles does.
Yeah.
So talk about what it does first.
So what it does, so typically about 7 to 10 days after exposure, 7 to 14 days after exposure, you can get fever, cough, runny nose, like a pink eye type thing. And then about 3 to 5 days later after the symptoms start, you can get this kind of red splotchy rash that starts from the head down to the toes, and so that you get kind of the classic measles rash. Now, most of us, I've never seen a case of measles in my career. I've been in practice about 20 years, so a lot of us don't think about it, don't diagnose it, don't really know how to diagnose it sometimes too. So it can go undetected because, like I said at the beginning, it's really kind of common cold symptoms as well too. But some of the complications that we worry about 1 in 20 kids get pneumonia. Really? 1 in 1,000 kids can get a brain infection called an encephalitis, which is an inflammation in their brain.
Is it because it goes untreated because they don't know what it is?
No, it's just there's really no treatment for it, but it just is because that's what it does. Yeah,
some cases can be more difficult than others.
Yeah.
All right, so are we really seeing more parents not vaccinate their children?
Yes, I mean over the last 10, 15, 20 years or so, we've had more and more cases of kids not being vaccinated, and you saw the statistics that you gave, 83% were unvaccinated. And unfortunately, a lot of it is because some things have been politicized with vaccines, and healthcare is not, and medicine isn't a political issue.
In your medical opinion, the vaccine is completely safe?
It's completely safe. It's been around for decades now, and it's been completely safe. So it's highly effective. It's 97% effective at preventing measles, 93% after 1 dose. Typically, you get your first dose at a year, and then you get a second dose between 4 to 6 years. Now, those are recommendations. If you are traveling, you can get your kid an extra dose earlier than normal, and that would still count towards their second dose. So especially kind of if you're looking at the summer, if your kid's like between 1 to 5 and hasn't gotten their second dose, you can contact your pediatrician to see maybe getting that second dose, especially if you're traveling internationally or into areas that are.
Okay, as we wrap up, what is the concern if there are children at school who've not been vaccinated? What happens if a child's not vaccinated? They would have to be exposed to it by someone else who's not been vaccinated?
Or I mean, the vaccine isn't 100% effective, so there's going to be some kids that aren't that are vaccinated that could get it. But the exposure it's about 90% transmission rate. So if you've been exposed to a case of measles, and again, cough, runny nose, you don't know who's next to you, that you can get it. It's a 90% transmission rate. So
chances are
if you're unvaccinated or the vaccine didn't work, you're in that like 5% or 3% of where it didn't work. Your kid could get it.
All right. Well, so don't take those symptoms for granted and have it checked.
Yeah. Again, there's nothing to worry about every time you get a cough and runny nose. It's still pretty rare. We have not seen any cases yet in Alabama, but it's just something to think about, especially if you're traveling. Do we get go ahead and get that extra second dose, or if you're under a year of age, you can go ahead and get a dose if you're 6 months.
All right, Dr. Soong, good to have your knowledge. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
We will take a break and we'll be right back.